What's up, my nigga?
What's up, guys? Jalen Peters here, and I am back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 villains and 5 suits that I would like to see in Marvel's Amazing Spider-Man 2 when it eventually comes out, because we're getting a second one. So, instead of making 2 separate videos, which is what most people do, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make one long video, 5 suits, 5 villains. I'm not going to make it top 10 suits or top 10 villains, because honestly, it's just way more likely that we're going to get, 3 or 4 big villains for this next game. Not like the Sinister Six, where they all group up on Spider-Man, but just some periodically. But anyway, we're going to start the list off with someone who is already in the first one, but I feel like he's going to come back for the second one. It is Tombstone. Tombstone, we all wanted him to be in the game just a little bit more. Wasn't exactly focused on all that much, and it would make sense if he could come back in the second game. He just kind of breaks out of jail. He's like, oh, we have unfinished business, Spider-Man. Round 2. And you notice at the end, he said, I can't wait for the next one. And he can break out and give Spider-Man that next round. We could focus on him more, give him more character, give us more boss battles, give us more, crimes to stop around the city. Tombstone, I just want to see him again. Didn't have enough shine, deserved more. They did great with him in the side missions, but I'd love to see a little bit more Tombstone. And yeah, Tombstone is the first villain on this list who I think should be one of the main villains in Spider-Man 2, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. And the next villain we have up on the list is the Lizard Man. Now, the Lizard Man is someone that I've wanted in a Spider-Man game since, I don't know, I was a kid. I didn't play the Amazing Spider-Man video games because, honestly, who did? But I didn't play the Amazing Spider-Man video game, so I didn't see the Lizard Man on there. I would really love to see the Lizard Man. I would love to see what Insomniac makes him look like, make him do. We already got Dr. Octavius, and they can implement Kurt Connors in there. I think Kurt Connors could be implemented in there. We could do like a time skip of like a couple months, maybe a year, and in that year, Mayor Osborn, was talking to Dr. Kurt Connors. He's like, hey man, you're a scientist, see if this is super top secret stuff, help my son. And then sooner or later, he tries testing it on himself. Well, not really himself, but he sees his results and he's just like, this is going to turn him into a lizard and blah, blah, blah. And boom, you have a Lizard Man. And, it would just be really cool to see. And I could really think of the really cool, scary scenes. Not even like jump scares scary, just like, holy shit, I heard the lizard or saw the lizard shadow in the background. He's a lot like Spider-Man in terms of fighting, sneaking around, has enhanced senses. Well, Venom is like that too. But I would just really enjoy to see the Lizard Man in Marvel's Amazing Spider-Man 2. And the next villain on this list is Kraven the Hunter. I mean, do we really need to explain this? Who doesn't want Kraven in a Spider-Man game? Honestly, he's Kraven. We love Kraven. And introducing the Lizard Man, it would make sense for Kraven to come. You see how things just work out? You introduce the Lizard Man, you introduce Kraven as well. Spider-Man has to save the Lizard Man from Kraven. He also likes Dr. Connors, so it just makes sense. It all wraps up quite nicely in a tight little bow. You bring in the Lizard Man, you also bring in Kraven. Not long explanation for that. But up next on this list is Wrath. That's right, Yuri Watanabe turns into Wrath, people. I want it to happen. Who doesn't want it to happen? It makes sense. In case you don't know, spoiler alert for the DLC. I mean, at this point, if you don't, well, that's not really my problem. At the end of one of the DLCs, Yuri Watanabe, if you're a Spider-Man, you have to find these 9 voice recordings, or 8, but I think it was 9. Maybe it was 12. Whatever number it was. You have to find these voice recordings, and when you find all of them, you go to a little part in the map where it's a dead guy being wrapped up in police tape, and then Spider-Man gets a call and it's Yuri, and Spider-Man's like, you killed this man, you have to turn yourself in, and Yuri's just like, no, I served out swift justice. And Spider-Man was just like, you're not right in the head, let me help you. this isn't okay. And then she was just like, you deal with stuff your way and I deal with stuff my way. Goodbye, Spider-Man. So she said goodbye to Peter, and that's it. Wrath is born. It only makes sense. So it makes sense if Wrath, it just makes sense to put Wrath in there. She could be the first villain that we fight in the game, you know, or she could be like a little taskmaster thing. You could give her side missions that eventually lead to a battle against her, maybe a couple, because Yuri, she knows Spider-Man. She's just like, well, you know, I have to take this guy out sooner or later. He doesn't really like me. So we could, I could see it now, the first scene of the game, we get a swinging montage, you know. It's like, hey, I'm Spider-Man, you know, he narrates like he always does. And much like in the first game, when we get jumped straight into battle, we could just be swinging around, and then out of nowhere, boom, Wrath comes in and kicks us in the face. And then you just fight, and then Peter Parker nails her with a good kick at the end, and then he just looks. He just looks, he's like, wait a minute, that voice. And then Wrath, for some stupid reason, because, you know, villains are stupid, takes off her mask, and it's Yuri, and she throws like a little smoke bomb, and she goes away. Be a pretty cool way to introduce Wrath into the video game. Pretty cool way to introduce Yuri back into the story. You know, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think it would be cool to see Wrath in a video game. We haven't seen her in a video game in a long while. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen Wrath in a video game. So, yeah, I just think it would be a great way to introduce her. Alrighty, that's 4 villains. We have Tombstone, Wrath, Lizard Man, and Kraven. And the last villain out of 5 that I would like to see is the Sandman. I love the Sandman. I don't think he gets any due justice in much of anything Spider-Man related besides the comics or the Spectacular Spider-Man. Why did that get canceled? But anyway, it just makes sense. And if you were walking around the city collecting the backpacks, well, not really walking, more like swinging. If you find one of them, you can find a capsule. And Peter says, I wonder if releasing this will unleash the Sandman. I'm not in that much of a rush to find out. And then boom, the Sandman is right in there. You know, just have him release him and have the Sandman in there. Because I really would love to see the Sandman in a video game. And I feel like Insomniac would give us a really good version of the Sandman, give him due justice. Because a lot of kids, when they think of Sandman, they think of Spider-Man 3 Sandman. Pretty good Sandman. You did an excellent job, Sam Raimi. But, you know, I feel like kids today just be like, Sandman, that's not Venom. I feel like that's every kid say. They look at the villains like, it's not Venom. Cool, okay. But anyway, I think Sandman should be in the next Spider-Man video game because I love the Sandman. I think you'd have a lot of great fights in the video game. And, you know, obviously, in this list, I didn't throw in the obvious ones like Green Goblin and Venom because it's kind of a foregone conclusion that we're going to get both of them. Like, if you saw the post-credits, it's kind of obvious we're going to get both of them. So I didn't include them in this list. It just wouldn't make sense. I would have just been wasting 2 slots. It's just like, oh, you didn't mention those 2. Well, yeah, because we're going to get them. It's literally going to be the main point of the next game. And I can personally guarantee that. We're going to have like 3 boss fights with each of them. That's just my prediction. But yeah, those are the 5 villains, and the 2s I didn't include because obvious reasons would dictate I would not include these 2. And one more. I think a good side mission boss, well, it's really more of a good side mission, you know, villain, besides Wrath, would be the robotic brain. Yes. In case you don't know, in the comics, that brain can figure out a solution to every problem. Every single problem. So, you know, he's just like, let's see if you can figure this out even better. You get bronze, silver, or gold. It just kind of adds up to me. I think it makes sense. You know, like Taskmaster and now the brain. Figure this out. The robotic brain. Figure this out, Spider-Man. But anyway, those are the 5 villains I think should be in the next Amazing Spider-Man video game. I think it'd be pretty cool to see them in the next Amazing Spider-Man video game. And now that we've gotten the suits out of the way, I can now move... No, not the suits. God damn it. Now that we've gotten the villains out of the way, I can move on to the 5 suits that I would like to see in the Amazing Spider-Man. Not the Amazing Spider-Man. God, I'm just tripping all over my words. You get it! Next, we're talking about 5 suits. And moving on to the top 5 suits I want in the game. Number 1 is just going to be the obvious one, and getting it out the way. I would like not one, but all of the symbiote suits. That way you won't have to have people, oh, I wanted this symbiote suit, I wanted that symbiote suit. Just throw them all in there and just get it out of the way. Or maybe Insomniac can make their own original symbiote suit. One of the options. All of them are their own original. Maybe just all of them and their own original. That way everyone's happy. I know there's too much. That's 4 slots for a symbiote suit. But think about how many slots we had for the classic suit. We had about 5, maybe 6. So I don't care. Just to get everybody, just make everybody happy. Get them all out the way. And that's just my obvious choice. 1 of 5 out of the way. And the next suit I think should go into the next one should be the human spider outfit from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. It's a beautiful original non-Spider-Man Spider-Man outfit. We all love it. We all like it. Look at Peter Parker and his little... It's the Spider-Man. What is that? The human spider? God, that name is stupid. Spider-Man. It's the human spider. No, you got my name wrong. Anyway. Oh man, the human spider suit. I want that in the game. It would just be nice. I didn't really like the wrestler outfit, you know. And out of all the origin Spider-Man outfits, that was probably the best one. Probably a tie with the homemade suit by Tom Holland, but I like this one. Put the human spider in there, please. And the next Spider-Man suit that I believe should go in there should be the Superior Spider-Man suit. Look at this sexy beast. Enough said. And the next suit after that, I think should be the Ben Reilly Spider-Man suit. Look at this sexy beast. I mean, just look at it. I mean, really, just comprehend it. Enough said again. And the last suit I think should be in the game. The Spectacular Spider-Man suit. We had a couple of cartoon... Well, not really. We had a couple of animated suits in the last one. The vintage comic book suit. The Spider-Clan suit. The Into the Spider-Verse suit. 3 animated. And we can already have 2 right here. The Symbiote Spectacular Spider-Man suit and just the regular Spectacular Spider-Man suit. After seeing the Into the Spider-Verse suit and the vintage comic book suit, I was just like, the next animated one has to be the Spectacular Spider-Man suit. It just has to be. I love it. A lot of people love it. A lot of people love this series. The best one, you know, besides the 90s one. Or maybe we could get the 90s one. But we're not talking about the 90s one. We're talking about the Spectacular Spider-Man suit and why that amazing thing should be in the game. But enough said. I really want these 5 suits to be in the game. You know, it's just personal preference. I don't have much reasoning why, except I really like them and I think they would look sexy and cool and think they would mesh well. Obviously, all the symbiote suits will go with the story. Obviously, have a reason to be in there. But, yep. Those are just 5 villains and 5 suits I would like to see in the next Spider-Man video game for PS4. Hope you all have enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all my future gloriousness. I play SoulCalibur. I play GTA. If you want a round, or if you just want to have fun on GTA, you know, drop your PSN. Like once a month I play Uno. Yeah, that's basically it. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see all of you later.